All right. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Hello, hello, Laplace. Hello, hello. Well, hello. There you are. How you doing? How's it going? David B. Hello. Good to see you. Let's do this. Let's do this. Of course, we make sure everything's working. Hello, me. Of course, we make sure everything's working. Hello, me. Hey, hello. Right back at you. All right. So this is going to be kind of fun today. So because National Awakening comes out next week, I'm not starting a new series until it comes out. Oh, yep. Hello. Doing good. What's the agenda here? The agenda is for this week, the three Victoria 3 streams we do this week, we're going to be doing some one-off runs with mods. And so today's the day we have two Victoria 3 sessions. We have this one, and then we have one tonight. So for both sessions today, we're going to be doing the mod Morgenrote, and we're going to be playing as Switzerland. So we'll do that. Morgenrote's a pretty large mod, which is why I thought maybe it'd be good to do two sessions for that. And then on Thursday morning, we're going to be doing the Australia and New Zealand flavor pack with the Better Politics mod added in. I still got to make sure Better Politics mod works with that one, but I'm pretty sure it does. But for today, we're doing Morgenrote with Switzerland. Maximilian, hello, hello. Germany champions of Europe. Turkey goes home with a participation award. And Maximilian's very happy because, well, is happy, not very happy because he didn't get to the final match, but Greece got the bronze in the Euro basketball tournament. So congratulations to Maximilian in Greece. It wasn't the gold, but the bronze is also. People say, winning the third place game, the bronze medal game, is better than getting the silver medal, because with the silver medal you're ending the tournament with a loss. With the bronze medal, at least you end the tournament with a win. The bomb, hello, hello. Apologies for the unrelated question, but could you elaborate on how to get qualifications? Yeah, sure. I mean, I can do that really very quickly. So the biggest thing that adds qualifications are universities. You add some universities, you get some qualifications. Social mobility decree will add qualifications to the state. And then generally just raising your level of education will help bring that up as well. So getting like an education institution and bringing it up. But if you find your state is having qualifications problems, adding universities, and then you also look at the level of acceptance, because sometimes acceptance levels will do that as well. But for qualifications, it's universities, the social mobility decree, and then generally just try to raise the literacy level in your country. Oh yeah, hello, hello. I hope you're well. I'm excited for this one. Switzerland is one of my favorite EU4 achievement runs. Yeah, I've been wanting to do Switzerland for quite some time, so that's why I thought, what better way than to do it here? Let's see, Greece, twice champions of Europe in basketball, 1987, 2005, and once champions of Europe in football. Oh yeah, I remember that one in football. Man, that was exciting against Portugal in the final of 2004. I heavily enjoyed that one. No offense to any of my anybody from Portugal here watching. The bomb, yeah, of course, no problem. I appreciate it. I appreciate the question. Laplace, I don't know if you read the news, but the EU Parliament refuses for a moment of silence for Kirk, and the Americans are upset in the comments in X. I mean, I don't know why the European Parliament would, to be honest with you. It does kind of feel like we're acting like he was a politician here. In the end, he was like a political commentator. I find everybody's getting up in arms with any negative comment about this guy, and I do think there should be some level of decorum for a life lost, but to go to the extent that foreign governments should do moments of silence, I find quite odd, to be honest with you. I have a lot to say on that topic, but I feel like that could take. I have a lot to say on the topic. It has been quite the moment here in the United States, but I feel like that will end up taking up the first hour of the stream. Let's see. What are you planning on playing for National Awakening? So our first run in National Awakening is going to be with Serbia. But I also want to do, I might do a starting steps video for Montenegro, because Montenegro sounds like it's going to be really exciting. Do a starting steps video with Montenegro with the end goal of being independence. But the first full run via stream will be with Serbia. What about you? What's your first one going to be? The Portuguese are not offended at all. Maybe a bit sad. I met the ambassador of Portugal to Greece when I was a lad, and he personally congratulated me. Oh, that's nice. Okay. See, that's nice. See, and good sportsmanship. In the end, they ended up winning the Nations League anyway. So there you go. I cannot escape that man's name. But much worse, I can't escape his face anymore now. Yeah, it does seem like every single news story and video feed is about this. The whole thing has me kind of on edge. It does kind of feel like a possible moment of what's the term, like an inflection moment, just like a moment that causes other major moments to happen, I guess I would say. I find the whole moment in the U.S. here to be quite on edge. Although it's felt like things were quite on edge for some time here. All right, so as I said, we're going to do Switzerland. The Congress of Vienna has recognized Switzerland as a neutral power, affording some degree of safety in the theater of European politics. Will Switzerland preserve its neutrality or strike a different path? Let's find out, won't we? What is funny is that I started the discussion somewhat hostile, inquiring about Portuguese colonization, and he gave a very truthful and satisfactory, albeit diplomatic, response. Wow. Imagine that. People being chosen as diplomats because they're diplomatic. Very, very nice. Very good to know. My X feed are full of him. Murder is bad, but it's not like his work changed the world like Mother Teresa or the Pope. Yeah, I mean, I think in a nutshell, I can say I find what he stood for and what he advocated for to be just completely morally reprehensible. I find it very difficult to approach him as anything other than an awful person. He was an awful person. And he did not deserve what happened to him. Anybody who talks about, well, that's what you get. See, I have a real problem with the mentality of, well, that's what you get. That's not what you get. That is not what you get. Nobody deserves to have what happened to him. But also, just because somebody passes away doesn't mean we now have to completely forget everything that they did in their life and just talk about how wonderful of a person they were. I will remember him as he was. He was an awful person who advocated despicable things, and he did not deserve to die. He did not deserve what happened to him. I think it is totally apropos to bring up the quotes of his that he said throughout his life that are totally contradictory to what people are asking for us to do in his memory. Like, for instance, talking about how empathy is a made-up word. His comments on when George Floyd died, that in the immediate moments after George Floyd's death and murder, talking about he wasn't a hero, he wasn't this, and totally bad-mouthing him. But the reason why we find his words on empathy wrong is because the truth is everybody deserves empathy, even those who don't believe in it. And so I don't mourn his passing, but I find no satisfaction in it. I think it's a horrible thing that happened. And so I will remember him as he was. But I also passionately disagree with any ideas that because of the evil words you speak, makes you somehow deserving of the horrible brutality that happened to him. I just very much disagree with that. That's kind of my feeling on him. It's a catalyst for whatever is happening right now. Yeah, Super Frank. I totally agree. It's going to be I think catalyst was the word I was fishing for before. It does seem a bit like a catalyst for something that might happen. And I don't mean that to be like ominous or anything. I mean that in the sense that I really don't know what's going to happen next, but I fear it's not going to be good. And that's kind of what the fear of this moment comes from. Why should the EU Parliament hold a minute of silence and disrupt its proceedings for an American far-right debate overseas? Yankees are so full of themselves, they think the world revolves. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I feel, too. I mean, I don't expect foreign governments to hold moments of silence every time somebody here dies. So I find that odd. Yet mine, too, and they're trying to rewrite history to make him seem like that. Yeah, I mean, look. You spend your life advocating for hate and stuff like that. That's the words that people are going to remember you by. But I don't think that type of rhetoric makes somebody deserving of... I mean, what happened to him was brutal. You know, when the story first happened, there were people posting stories of it with like autoplays of video. And so there was a lot of like reports of people being like, I saw the video of what happened to him and I didn't even hit play on anything. And I was one of those people. I saw it and I didn't necessarily want to see it. I was trying to read a story about what happened. And it is truly like awful. I hope the person that did it gets the full force of the legal system upon him. But I'm also not going to sit here and pretend like he was this great person because something awful happened to him. You know, I think that's my feeling on the matter. I don't think that because you were wronged, you now have to be, have this false narrative written about you. And it is especially difficult to hear people go on and on about how you have to show you can't speak poorly of somebody when just 3 months ago a Democratic lawmaker in Minnesota was assassinated, if we're going to use that word willy-nilly now, and there was absolutely no sympathy for that person. Yeah, you're right. This may take up the whole first hour. Yeah. Okay, let's focus in on Morgenröte here. Yeah, that is the thing. It has become a very large point of discussion that touches on many different issues of morality and politics right now. Literally never heard of him in the UK till he died. Was he very famous? Like in right-wing circles he was. In far right-wing circles he was very popular. I knew of him. I knew his face very well. I'd seen videos of him. But before this had happened, if you had told me his name, I'd have been like, that name sounds familiar. I'll have to look him up. Like that level of recognition. So he wasn't this figure moving the needle in politics, but in his niche of this far right-wing ideology, people really liked him. But nationally, I don't know how many people would have recognized him by name or face, like just if you stopped them on the street and said, "Who is this person?" All right. So Morgenrote. So there's a lot of, so anybody who's not familiar with this mod, there's a lot of stuff they add in here. Notably, these three things down here. They add a lot into the game here in terms of like science and art and culture and stuff. So we have here our science stuff. So we can invest in scientific progress. And it looks like right now it's just 33 pounds of government expenses. So sure, let's do that. Maybe there's people who are very versed in this mod that are like, what are you doing? No, but that's what we're going to do. There's a bunch of characters here. So we have this civil engineer. Let's see. That will add stuff in there. So, natural history, humanities, stuff like that. Let's go to the arts. Yeah, so we can discover various things within culture here. Oh no. Okay, there we go. So we can also patronize the arts. We'll do that. We'll see. We have various artists. We can invite composers and stuff like that. We have a writer. Magic Buddha, hello, hello. Hello from Spain. I discovered you a few weeks ago and watched all your Vicky 3 tutorials. Nice. I learned a lot. Thanks for your content. Oh, I appreciate that. Thanks for watching. I'm happy that the videos are helpful. It does really make it worth it. And I really appreciate when people stop in to say thank you like that. So thank you. Let's see, Super Frank. Is there a reason why the mod is called Morgenrote? There's a just a cool sounding German word. I looked that up when I was planning this stuff last week, and I've totally forgotten what it means. But it does mean something significant. Oh, well, okay. It means red sky at morning or rosy dawn. It refers to the reddish or golden hues that appear in the sky at dawn. Yeah, I feel like I was watching some videos about this mod, and yeah, somebody said that, but then they gave like some context to it, and I'll be honest, I totally have forgotten why, but that's what it means. And then sports. This one will be very interesting. We can add some figures here to get like prestige and all that. I'm trying to find... So you can discover like the periodic table of elements, and it shows what elements have been discovered. Where is that? Because I thought that was pretty cool. I want to show that before we move on. And then you can uncover like dinosaur bones and stuff like that. All right, well, let's get it started here. So for research, they also like have changed up the research tree. So if you look at society, I find it hard to find things because it's reversed. Like this is all the stuff that normally would be on the other side. But we'll start with corporate charters so we can get a company going. We're going to want to get railways. So we start off with the Atmo engine. We will do water tube boiler and then railways. Oh, actually, no. We'll do corporate charters. We'll do intensive agriculture because we don't have access to cotton plantation. So we are going to need some of that. So then that. We'll get these two things just to get our military somewhat presentable. We're going to get central archives because we're going to need to keep our bureaucracy up. Because we have the Alps, it's going to hurt our state construction efficiency. And then I think that's good for now. We'll come back to it. Yeah, I think they want to paint as kind of a martyr of the agenda. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what's happening with that. I know what it means. I am a native German speaker, and it does not really make sense. Oh, that's why I asked. Oh, that's interesting. So it doesn't make any sense. Well then, yeah, maybe they did just pick it because it just kind of sounds cool. I just kind of typed into Google, what does Morgenrote mean? And maybe the one video I watched, that's what the other person did. So we have this thing going, topographical map of Switzerland. Since 1822, land surveying is a matter for the Swiss Confederation and not the cantons. General Dufour has commissioned to carry out the survey of Switzerland according to uniform standards and to record the survey results on a map. This will take a long time and cost a bit, but it will help to further develop Switzerland. So we're getting 500 government expenses while this goes on, but okay. So yeah, we have the Rhine River. We get some MAPI and some infrastructure, but we also lose 15% infrastructure 15% state construction efficiency in both of our states because of the Alps, and we have that in both. So we are going to need to be mindful of our infrastructure in both states. So let's get our construction going. Luckily, we are landlocked, but we start with a 10-year treaty with France to give us transit rights. So we are able to trade with the world market through France. So let's make sure we stay on France's good side. Let's start. So West Switzerland, born and raised. On the playground is where we're going to build our construction these days. Because we got all the stuff we need. So let's start off with... airfield. That'll be cool eventually. So you can see there's a bunch of extra buildings here. Oh, we have 2 trade centers there already. So we'll start with 2 construction sectors. We'll start with the logging camps. We'll do that. Extra one of those. We'll build that up, and then we'll see where we are. We'll keep the budget as is. We'll see what happens after we build these construction sectors. Who else do we want to be good with? Well, let's be good with Austria. For Super Frank. But also, you know, there are big neighbors, so we don't want to be too bad. We're going to start improving relations with Sardinia Piedmont, because if things go south with France, maybe we can get some transit rights through them. Let's add our decrees. Road maintenance, we're definitely going to need that. Social mobility. And we'll keep that. Let's take a look at our laws. We start off with some pretty good laws, actually. Parliamentary republic, census suffrage, national supremacy, freedom of conscience. We do want to get off of hereditary bureaucrats. We have schools, but we have no health system. We're on interventionism. And slavery is banned. So, let's start with getting off of this. I think to start, we'll do appointed bureaucrats. The petite bourgeoisie and the intelligentsia. Can we get them in there? Yeah, I thought that was asking a little too much. Alright, so we'll start with the Conservative Party. And we'll move to appointed bureaucrats. Yeah, the music is nice, right? So they've added, like, new music in there. Alright, so let's... I think we're ready for the unpause. We already got... Oh yeah, they have their own special achievements that they've added in for this mod. Alright, let me catch up here. I wanted to get the run unpaused here. I've missed some chat. The mod expands the victory like the BICE in Hoi 4. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know Hoi 4 enough. Oh, and we already got a coup. Karl Ludwig von Haller has grown discontent with the Swiss government's institutions. A conspiracy is forming among the patricians to launch a coup against the government and establish autocracy. Let's not give them too much of that. What happened to my sound here, actually? Yeah, I don't know why that got turned down. This is so this is just something that makes you go take a look at these windows and stuff, explaining the mod. We can close the journal entry. Swiss by any chance? Yep, Super Frank is Austrian. Very cool. Good to have you in here then. Everything sounds cool in German. Yeah, this is true, right? I love how the German language just has like those very specific those words for like very specific things. Like I wish there was something in like sometimes I wish there were things in English that explain just certain situations in a single word. Pretty considering he started playing Switzerland. Talking about Switzerland, the Russian foreign minister and Greek national Ioannis Kapodistrias advocated for their independence in the Congress of Vienna. Oh, and helped them draft their constitution. Oh, very cool. Very cool. See, I love all the little history tidbits we get because of this game. Um, equipment lost. So this is from the mod. One of our surveyors lost his equipment while climbing a mountain in East Switzerland. Either we have to provide new equipment or the progress will be slowed down. Ooh. But this is going to be, so 10 grand. It looks like, though, this is just a set amount. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, look at that. Okay, so not a regularly occurring thing, which isn't so bad. Oh, absolutely. But anyone who would call such a figure that either doesn't know the definition of the word or the true significance of the word. I don't mean to sound rude to you, but that's the last I'm going to say about him. Time for some good old thought suppression. Wait, was that still about... I think I missed the first comment on that. Did I miss you saying your goals for the playthrough? Well, since we're not going to be able to finish a run. We're doing this session right now and then the one tonight. So we'll get as far as we can. I guess the goal is to just Morgenrote. I don't know. I'd like to uncover some dino bones, maybe. Something like that. I guess I don't have something specific, like a specific achievement. Because I don't think there is one we have for Switzerland per se that we would even have the time to get. Yeah, like as Switzerland, make more than 10% of your GDP from money transfers through treaties. Actually, I suppose we could do that. We could try to go for that. We'll try to go for that. If we can get it, we'll do a bunch of money transfers through treaties. And then you see here we have a bunch of achievements specific to the mod that they created. Like, um, I want to discover Neptune. So let's discover Neptune and do Swiss bank account. Oh, wait. Uh, Guillaume Henry Defour, a general associated with the armed forces, has been accused of grave disloyalty. He claims that this thing but a plot by subversive elements to remove a barrier to their rule. Ooh, look at this guy. Surveyor and meticulous. We like this guy. We can afford the authority loss. Yeah, we'll keep him. The civil service, currently led by the patricians, are deliberately stalling the government by creating unnecessary paperwork. They demand that their jobs be protected under the appointed bureaucrats law. I don't want to... Ooh. Yeah, I don't want to take that one yet. I suppose we could take this one. Yeah, I think we'll go with that. Yeah, whoa, mods add achievements, cool. Yeah, I know. I guess the thing that sucks about it, though, is if you don't always load up with the mod, the achievements aren't there. 30 minutes and already a coup. I know, right? Yikes. Such is life. Wait. This is the equivalent of Black Ice for Hoi 4. Like, difficulty-wise 2, or... Oh no, that sounds ominous. Is this going to be super difficult? I don't know. One of Karl Ludwig von Haller's assistants has fallen out of the window of government administration in East Switzerland and been severely injured on impact. He has offered the government information in exchange for safety. Ooh, we're almost there. All right, we got one construction sector. Yeah, so we'll see here. Um, yeah, more to overhaul, expand the function of the system. Okay. That was the worst choice. Oh, you're talking about that one. Uh, no, if we took the other choice, it would have lowered our success chance enough that we would have gotten the setback. And then the other option would have also given us the setback. We're in the sponsorship phase. In general, I try to avoid any setbacks in the sponsorship phase, if we actually want to get this passed. Jacob, hey, hello, hello, welcome in, welcome in. Good to see you. How's it going? You're going to get a setback with 2%. Well, we'll get a setback if we get another thing that lowers it, but there is also a chance we won't get a setback. With the other ones, you guarantee a setback. So, let's see. Our efforts to pass the appointed bureaucrats law have run into several classic bureaucratic hurdles, debates, rage around such lofty matters in the correct shape of filing cabinets. And there you go. We won't get a setback from it. So we'll take this. We'll get the plus 10% chance. So that's why I took the other option to get us to 2% and not take the setback, because now we're at 12 with no setbacks. Um, falling out of the window seems like a very common way. Randomly dying since a long time ago across all nations. Yeah, that's like the classic way to get laws passed. Throw somebody out a window. We haven't upgraded the technology of of getting rid of people for law passing. It seems like, but you could get a setback and plus 5% more. You're lucky this time, Hamcuts. Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of luck to it. You're kind of gambling on that. And it's very true. We could have just gotten an event that gave us a setback anyway. Um, but I feel like, you see, I feel like it depends on what stage we're in. Um, if we were in study, I probably would have taken the plus 5. But I feel like if you start off in sponsorship with a setback, you're probably going to get another one before you get to voting. And now the chances of you passing it are very low. Good to see y'all too. Finally starting to get over flu co. Oh man, I'm sorry. God, that sucks. You just reminded me I need to go get my flu shot and COVID vaccine for the season. Oh man, I've forgotten to do that. Uh, a group representing the usual opposition forces of the intelligentsia has approached the government to propose cooperation against forces that would subvert the government in Switzerland. All right. Yeah, if we take this, it should... All right, and we advance to study. So, yeah, we will take this. We still got a little... Just a little bit. Oh my god, the music. Actually, I'm loving the music. I was expecting to hear this one. Um, works in Switzerland, it works in Prague, works in Russia. Reliable tech. Yep. Just throw them out the window. Have we tried the throw them out the window option yet? Oh, you know what? We should save just so we have a save file for it. All right. What else can we do here? What else can we do? So the budget's going down. This is mainly because we don't have the input goods yet. What is our interest rate? 15.8%. All right. Barracks in West Switzerland have been reporting a large amount of mysterious losses of firearms as of late. Yeah. I don't want to advance this. What is it they're trying to pass again? Um, Oh yeah, enact autocracy. Yeah. The most famous example of 1648 did not die, though. The angels made their fall soft, or they fell on manure. It depends who you are asking. I'd like to take the middle ground of falling on hay. That is a good middle ground, actually. Fell on manure. Maybe that's where Back to the Future got it from. 1618. Oh, yeah, yeah, okay. Let's see. Thanks to the support of Guillaume Henry Dufour, a well-known surveyor, the progress to create the topographic map has taken a huge leap. Oh, nice. Plus 10. Huge leap, though we're trying to get to 300. Oh my god. Protests supported by the intelligentsia have flooded the streets of West Switzerland, condemning the presence of groups within the government that support autocracy. Oh yeah, here we go. This, I think, should get rid of it, maybe. So we'll lose some legitimacy. Can we afford it? Yeah, we can afford it. It'll move us down to legitimate government, but that's totally fine. We'll lose 5% authority. Yeah, we can afford that. There we go. We beat the coup. Right at the conclusion of that epic music. What's our military looking like? Yeah. So we are on national militia. The conspiracy against Swiss democracy has lost all momentum among the patricians. The plan to institute autocracy has been abandoned. You know, I didn't look at the names of the interest groups, actually. I always like to look at that. So the patricians, the evangelical church. Okay, so just the landowners get the special name. So, yeah, we have national militia, which I think will be fine for us. We're not doing major military operations. But I don't think... Yeah, we need some arms. So we have 200 peasants there. 169. I think what I'll do is actually... We'll build the arms industry here. And then over here, we'll build the artillery foundry. So we can only have 5 barracks in each state. So when we get through the build queue, we'll lower this by 5 and build 5 mobile artillery here. And then we'll split up the conscripts accordingly. This will save on cost. And then this will have the artillery foundry. So we'll do that. So that everything is as much of a local good as possible. The Evangelical Church is a special name by itself. No, isn't that just... This is the one that just refers to Protestants, right? In the game, this means Protestant. That always throws me off, too, because at least in the United States, like, Protestants and evangelicals are, like, 2 different things. So I remember when I first started playing the game, I was like, why are there no Protestants in the game? Konstantin Sigwart Mueller, leader of the Evangelical Church, has been openly preaching about the benefits that a mysterious and secret political gamble can bring to our government. When asked for details, he smiles coyly, refusing to elaborate. Yeah, no, we don't want you to get more political power. Ooh, okay, what is this? New tunnels. Your civil engineer, Dr. Vinetz, started a project to construct new tunnels throughout Switzerland. The project will get progress every month. Every time the progress reaches 26, the state with the least available infrastructure will get the modifier. Oh, are we going to get... This is cool. Okay. Well, we don't extra work teams. Okay, so we can add it. Um, Wait, what's the modifier? The project will get progress each month. Every time the progress reaches 26, the state with the least available infrastructure will get the modifier. Well, I guess we'll see when we reach 26. Because the U.S. Protestants are split between mainline and evangelical. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I eventually found out. I was like, oh, okay. Um, Probably just the blanket name for not having a state religion. Yeah, but enough unity to call it one. If you move in that direction, Protestantism is not always centralized. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Evangelical Christianity is something very different in the German-speaking world. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that actually. It's not only Anglicans, Episcopalians follow an episcopal transfer of power. Yeah, I mean, isn't that one of the main pillars of Protestantism is that there's no like head of the church? That's why they oppose Catholics or the Catholic Church so much. At least that's my understanding of it. Ooh. Okay, we are in debt. Um, we are gonna, we do need to get the industrialists on the board. We don't have the worst interest rate in the world, but we also don't have the best interest rate. So let's start selling. How much does our investment pool have? Not a lot. Okay. Oh, I didn't, my bad. I didn't, set up anything for our construction goods in terms of subventions. Yeah, so we do want to import this stuff. Oops. Yeah, see, we're really going to need to get intensive agriculture. I mean, we can import it, but we are going to need a somewhat of a source of it ourselves. Let's pin this. What are we doing here? Oh, we didn't set up any strategic interests, which we need. Oh, man. Okay. Yeah, we can't do a ton, though. So who would give us the most wood? So the biggest exporters are Russia, Sweden, and Mascara. Well, we can't do interests in any of those. Although, yeah, if we do Poland, we should be able to get an interest in Russia, because that'll include Russia, right? Let's do that. And then we'll get an interest in France so that we can... Because they're going to have a ton of fabric. Oh. No, they're importing it too. Damn. I mean, our interest rate is 15%, and we are getting a discount on it, the loan interest. We need to keep the petite bourgeoisie happy. Oh yeah, we're spending a lot on paper. So we need some paper as well. Um, right, the more Baptist and other traditions reject that. European Protestants favored a more national church approach, at least historically. to be fair, even being a Christian means something entirely different in the German-speaking world compared to the U.S. regarding the actual involvement of the religion in day-to-day life. Oh, interesting. Huh. I'll have to look that up. I have to ask a friend of mine. One of my friends here, who's uh, his kid is friends with my kid, is German. I'll have to ask him about this. What do you mean by that? Church of Sweden, Anglican Church. But yeah, it's complex because there's also the decentralized component in Europe too. Not sure about Scandinavia, but they are Lutheran. Now, a church does exist, but they lack bishops. Anglicans, Episcopalian in the U.S. have bishops. Interesting. Interesting stuff. Neslin, hey, hello, hello, welcome, welcome. Hey, wanted to say that I appreciate your Vicky 3 tutorials. Nice, I've been binging them the last few days. Oh, I love it. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm so glad they're helpful. Us Victorians need to help each other out here, because not only is the game hard to understand, but it changes constantly. So yeah, I appreciate you coming in to say that. I love it. Welcome in. Oh, we can speed this up a little bit. I am a polymath. Among many other things, many other of your talents. All right. Let's go. And make sure stream stuff is working well. All right. Yeah, it's a rather complicated game. I know. I think we all, when we first load up the game for the very first time, have no idea what we're getting ourselves into. I certainly didn't. Okay, so we don't want to add this in. I am kind of curious to see what this modifier is going to be, right? I'm not being an idiot, right? It doesn't tell us here. Well, all switch states have the new tunnel modifier. Hmm. All right. And it's going to get even more complicated next week, seriously. Oh man, as always, I'm super excited for the next update in DLC. But yep, we got a lot that we knew that we gotta learn. TLDR, Protestant history is annoyingly complicated. Yeah, I would have guessed that. As is Catholic history. As is the Catholic Protestant history. Just go look at the soccer teams in Glasgow to learn about that. Right, let's make sure now. See, look at that. Yeah, sawmills. Thank you very much. What kind of brand is that box of liquid next to the platypus plushie? Oh, it's art from my daughter. She she had to make a building in school. They were learning like city planning. And so this was like I think this was like 2 years ago now. And she made this building, and we just uncovered it in the house. I forget what building she said it was supposed to be. It's not immediately recognizable, but she let me have it for the stream. My daughter loves to decorate my stream background, so you can see some of the stuff she added, except for the platypus. That's mine. But she loves to decorate it. I had told her when I first built the computer that she could put stuff inside there, like figures or figurines and stuff. And so she started doing like a made up like competition, like reality show competition between her her like stuffies and her figures to see who gets to go inside the computer. But then I think she lost interest, and nobody ever won the competition. Oh, we got the Twitch bot. Yeah, yeah, it was a really cool school project. It was nice because the whole class did it. And so then they ended up building like this whole like village with everybody's buildings put together. It was actually really cool. Goodbye, Twitch bots. Tool shortage. Ah, yeah, so we're hiring up. All right, yeah, so we're fixing that up. Yeah, our market's a little wonky. Oh, look at this, though. Hold on, hold on. We're exporting 10 already. So let's take a look here. When we switch over, how much iron are we going to need? It's about 95. So I think we'll put a tariff on the export and switch over after the second one. Yeah, I wouldn't put stuff in the desktop. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why in the end I was like, oh, that was probably for the best. Oh, yeah. The shirt. I am your father. This is, I got this for the baby shower for my daughter. This was, actually, I should say my wife got it for me. I guess she's cooler than I am. Let's see. While they were surveying from one of the tall mountains of West Switzerland, our surveyors were surprised by a thunderstorm. It stormed and poured with rain. The surveyors sought shelter in their tent, but a lightning strike killed one of them and injured the other. See, this is why I could never make a mod. It's amazing to me, like they've written up a whole bunch of events. The amount of work that went into this is absolutely amazing, I have to say. It's very cool. That's why I was really excited to try this mod out. Alright, I'm minorly concerned about the debt. 425 pounds of interest. See, I always find this, around this level of country, kind of the most difficult, actually. Because it's like... Yeah, give me the ledger. There we go. When you're like this far down, you're like, yeah, don't go into debt. It's easy. Just don't go into debt. When you're like a great power or a major power, you can afford debt. So when you get into this mid-range that you're like, can I afford it yet? Can I not afford it? It's actually, I think, more difficult to maneuver this moment. All right, so we're about to get the first modifier. Baby shower. Yeah. Oh, wait. So did we... Okay. So did a state get a modifier? Yeah, new tunnel. Okay, so plus 15 infrastructure. That's pretty cool. So then West Switzerland will get the next one. And then I guess we complete this. Agreed on Rome. There's a link between the landowner's IG and latifundia and subsequent manorialism that dominated the Middle Ages. Oh, did I miss something about Rome? Oh, no. Roger, hello, hello. 1 minute of silence for that poor surveyor. We hardly knew ye. We didn't know him, actually. A moment, oh, wait. Moment of silence for the poor surveyor. Godspeed, my friend. Oh, alright. We're at the hour mark. So let's take a quick break. Pay homage to the gods of ad so that nobody misses anything, misses any action during the break. So we're going to take 90 seconds, go to the bathroom, get some water, and then we'll be right back. All right, and we're back. And we're back. Um, you have no idea how Rome fits in there. Oh, Catholicism. That's right. That's right. I forgot about that. 90 seconds to the second quarter. Yeah, that's right. I should start referring to things like that. All right, we're in the second quarter. Next break, we're at halftime. One must think of Rome at least once a day. That's what the Romans would like you to think. Actually, I have been thinking about Rome quite a bit recently. I don't know if anybody caught the stream on Friday, but we did some Anno. We started with Anno 117, Pax Romana, the new Rome Anno coming out, and then once the hour mark hit and the demo booted us out, we did some Anno 1800. So I've been getting back into Anno this week. Um, Getting pretty excited for the new Rome one that's coming out. The thing that really sucks about Anno 117, it's coming out in November, and EU5 comes out in November, so that's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough. All right, let's start doing some government treaties here. What do we have the most of? Yeah, we could build instruments. Who would want that? I don't even play Anno. I mean, Anno is cool. It's no paradox game. I'll do it that way. I'll say that much. But it's a very cool game that deals with economics. So like supply chains and trade, especially Anno 1800 with trade. And it is more of a city builder, so you're more centralized in something like this as opposed to Victoria 3, which is more nation based. Rodolphe Topfer is unhappy with the political situation in Switzerland. If we do not change our politics, he might consider to stop being our national writer. What? If the approval of the National Writers Interest Group, I didn't know we had it, is below -2, they will consider stepping down. Oh, the National Writers Interest Group. Oh, I see. If the approval of the National Writers Interest Group is below -2, they will consider stepping down. You have 1 year to raise the approval. Well, what's his interest group? Oh, the patricians? What does he add to us? Socially critic. All right, let's take a look real quick. See, this is the stuff. What is our writer adding to us? +4 literary tradition each year. Literary tradition is a representation of the nation's literary achievements and traditions. There are various ways to gain literary tradition. Having at least one arts academy, having one or more local writers, a national writer, and having certain centers of arts who will passively add literary tradition to your country. The more literary tradition your nation gains, the higher the prestige bonus you gain. Okay. Additionally, it will allow you to unlock the expressionism art style. So we can get prestige from this. +3 points for the genre of your national writer matching the popular taste. Oh, that's interesting. Every nation's population has a taste for a specific genre. About every 10 years, this taste will change depending on political, social, and cultural changes in the country itself. So, what's our national taste? He hasn't written any bestsellers yet. What the hell's wrong with you, man? Genuine question, though, why there are many churches in Christian they're the same or just delusional. It's just like different interpretations of like the Bible and the what do you call it? Not social structure, like power structure, I guess you would say. So it's just like different interpretations of it, really. What is tough is EU5 versus Football Manager 26. Oh man, I don't do Football Manager anymore. Like an alcoholic stays away from bars. Uh, I try to stay away from Football Manager because I have lost much of my life to Football Manager. Um, and yet I buy it every year, but then I don't play because I'm like, oh my god, I can't do this to myself. You mean different denominations? Paradox games ruin other games can, yeah. I feel like Paradox has kind of ruined Civilization a little bit for me. Maybe because you have Orthodox, Lutheran, uh, Evangelical, Catholic, and Mormon, etc. Yeah. Bro got salty about appointed bureaucrats. Yeah, for real, right? We're gonna pass appointed bureaucrats, and this guy's like, I'm taking my writing elsewhere. Like, my guy, you have 0 bestsellers. Go take your talents elsewhere. All right. Let's see. Let's see. What does the reading tour do? An internationally recognized writer who is in contact with foreign publishers can increase the country's own fame if he goes on a reading tour. This will not only promote mutual relationships, but also his reputation. Okay. Let's just do it and see what happens. We're testing the mod out. Switzerland's greatest writer, Rodolphe Topfour, has, after some preliminary discussions with a foreign publisher, decided to also honor his audience abroad by reading his own works. The first destination will be Sardinia, Piedmont. Good luck, my friend. Um, I'll say that there's a difference between what the Bible says and the religions based on the interpretations of it. It's quite the rabbit hole. Yeah, this is true. That'll be another one that occupies hours of the stream if we go down that one. Evangelicals are not a denomination, but an umbrella term for some denominations. Yeah. Why does Islam have Sunni, Shia, Alawi, Sufi sects? Some consider Druze, etc. Yeah. Yeah, again, it's all like even with Islam, it all comes down to different interpretations of the Quran and different interpretations of the power structure. That's essentially what the difference between Sunni and Shiite are. Rodolphe Tuffer is unhappy with the political situation. If we do not, yeah, 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 you already told us that. Yeah, we have 1 year. Okay, we'll make you happy at some point, my friend. Isn't there a priest scholar to set things what is right or wrong? Well, for the Catholic Church, that's what the Pope is. But some of the sects are like Protestantism is about we don't want a pope. So there isn't like a central place like the Vatican to make decisions like that. The national painter Martin Destelli presented his work to the public with a few invited guests. The sensuality and the power of the colors make an impression on the audience. The painting is already considered a key work of Romanticism. All right, painting traditions. God, there's a lot more to keep track of than this. That's like a Qadi or an imam. No, we don't have that. But in organized Christian religions, the Pope or the patriarchs are responsible for the dogma. Yeah. This is going to be my first winter with FMN Vicky 3. My Christmas break is going to be very PC heavy, I fear. Oh man, please don't get me back into Football Manager, people. That is a that is a hole I fall hard into. That's the thing. Matt 23 pretty much eliminates man's authority to do that deep rabbit hole. I see kind of interesting, but I will stop on that. No need, just ask. I don't mind. I'm quite well knowing on theological matters. Oh, look at this. Okay, modernizing construction sectors. Your civil engineer, Dr. Vinetz, started a project to modernize the construction sector in West Switzerland. You know, this guy's doing some work for us, I have to say. The project will get progress every month. Every time the progress reaches 12, the building will receive a new modifier. There is a total number of 3 modifiers to gain. Each new modifier needs the progress to fill up again. Okay, so we're going to get some modifiers for the construction sectors. That's pretty cool. Oh, why did we just lose some of this? What happened there? Um, is Football Manager really that good? I mean, if you are into football, it is. In terms of like a simulation, it's so in depth. Uh, the strategy that you can create in it, and every year they just add so much more depth to it. Uh, Actually, I do want. I've been thinking about for some time doing a video about how Football Manager is a grand strategy game. It just doesn't. People don't think of it that way because it's a sports game. But if you like the sport, yeah, it's wonderful. Multiplayer session with Maximilian playing as Olympiacos. Yeah, and I'll add in my beloved New York Red Bulls. Back in the day, Football Manager 2006, 5-time champion, 5-time straight champion of MLS, and then went on to defeat Real Madrid in the Club World Cup final. That's all I gotta say. Rodolphe Topfer has ended his stay abroad. The question arises whether he should return or choose a new destination. Here you go, Maximilian. We'll send him over to you. Yeah, why don't you go off to Greece? Right, we keep getting this thing with we keep getting luxury clothes. Can we afford to switch production? Oh, fish. Ooh. Yeah, that's gonna be a problem for us. Um, yeah, we are kind of short on that. We don't have any silk. What's our private sector building? Yeah, see, we need you guys. We're not getting much investment yet either. Oh my god. Can this thing just pass already? During the surveying work in West Switzerland, our surveyors came into contact with the rural inhabitants of the region. Apparently, they were disturbing a funeral with their work. Yikes. We can afford some radicals. Let's get some mapping progress. So the teaching forbids to question the Bible. That sounds bad. If certain things, we need to question that part. I mean, you can question it. I think it just depends on it depends on the person. Some don't appreciate the questions. Modernizing construction. Okay. Our civil engineer, Dr. Vinetz, has finally completed the project to modernize the construction sector in West Switzerland. Now that our construction processes are more efficient than ever, we should be able to finish constructions way faster. Okay, nice. So we get some tech spread to modern sewage, or some tech progress. Well, so what did that do? Oh. Oh, plus 5 throughput. Minus 5% goods input. That's interesting. So we're getting negative 10% goods input and plus 10% throughput. Very interesting. All right, and let's keep an eye too. Once this finishes, we're going to switch to iron frame buildings. The only reason I got out of the Football Manager hole is the cancellation of FM25. On the positive side, that's the only way I got into Vic 3. Oh, there you go. See? One door closes and one door opens in life. One addiction to another. They completed the construction sector bar. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah. There's a quote from the Bible that tells people to believe without questioning. I'm not sure how this is to be interpreted. You have to understand the difference between denominations. There's a big difference with Christian, Catholics, and Orthodox. Oh, Maximilian, send him to us. Yes, yeah, I'm behind a little bit here. I sent him over to you, my friend. Oh, the situation in Switzerland has become unbearable. Oh, no. Therefore, he has decided to step down as our national writer. I guess he's going to stay in Greece. Will become a local writer. So hold on, can we get another one now? Oh, I see. So he's just a local writer. Oh. So we'll get these local writers, and if they get enough reputation, they can become the national writer. Oh, how do we get composer here? Oh, it's Strauss. Switzerland has a total of 2 or more opera house building. Okay, so we gotta do that. Let's visit the opera. What does that do? You can view the opera's current evening program here. Tonight, the Bern Philharmonics will play Concerto for Oboe D major. Cool. All right. Well, we have appointed bureaucrats. It cost us our national writer. Well, whatever. Um, health system would be nice. We should try to get off of this. Rural folk and intelligentsia. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, if we could get the intelligentsia in the government here. When is our next election? Ah, in 2 years. So we could. Oh, that's right. We're a parliamentary republic. If we put the intelligentsia in, we'll get this guy's our leader. So we'll get extra bureaucracy, institution size change speed. Political strength of the clergy will go down. But we will lose 10 legitimacy. Oh, we'll lose 10 legitimacy. So we'll actually have 36. And what is this guy getting us? Influence, authority, bureaucracy, political strength of bureaucrats. That's kind of nice. Oh, political strength of academics would be. I kind of like to keep this guy. Prestige and infamy decay. Why does he have to be part of the patricians? Alright, well, let's get ourselves a health system. I don't necessarily want to give the evangelical church even more power. Oh, we should get a police force. Let's go to dedicated police force. We'll do that. Blank has ended his stay abroad. That's probably our national writer, but he's not the national writer anymore. The question arises whether he should return or choose a new destination. The funeral is for the surveyor that died. Yeah, that's true. And here we go, just barging through it. Alright. So what's going on this tunnel system? Why are we at 0? So we have the modifier here. Why didn't we get it there? We're supposed to get plus... We're supposed to get 3.74 progress a month, but we're losing progress. Oh, look at that, too. Our budget got a little bit better, I think because we're using less goods. So once we finish this next iron mine... Oh, yes, and that... How are we on coal? Kind of could use that. So we'll put the coal after this next iron mine, because then we can move to the pumps. All right, in 5 months, we're going to get a company. Let's take a look at the companies we have here. Swiss Publishing. So we can get the prestige good, fine prints, and literature. We're going to need to build a couple buildings for that. So this is pretty much the same one. We'll be able to add in tools or wood industries. With this one, just wood. Oh, so Swiss Publishing. Oh no, it's the same thing for both. So we could get throughput to the paper mills and the publishing industry, or pop attraction to the intelligentsia and innovation. Plus 5% innovation is not bad. Oh wow, we are in like a serious religious conversation here, huh? Deep rabbit hole. Yeah. Um, Now, of course, the metals company is always good at the beginning to help the construction sector. You don't get a prestige good, which would be nice. Oh, that's in Austria. Hmm. See, eventually we are going to do the steel company, because getting the plus 5% state construction efficiency will be helpful. But I don't think we're going to do it just yet. What would be beneficial to us currently at the moment? Oh, Swiss chocolate. Standard of living for the upper strata and food industries. I don't know. We might go for that just to try it. Oh, what is this? West Switzerland Premium Airlines. Swiss Air. Definitely got to go for that eventually. The prestige good of luxury flights. And then the Swiss Instruments Corporation. All right. So let's make a decision here. This is the thing I always have the hardest time making a decision on. I'm kind of tempted to go Swiss publishing because it'll give us a prestige good and we can start exporting. Oh, we have a new chancellor. Oh, that guy died. Well, maybe we will put the intelligentsia in there now. The wine produced in East Switzerland has been lauded by Somalis as outstanding. Take the prestige. Who's our new guy? Oh, the evangelicals. Okay, so prestige and decree costs, we get a benefit. Authority. Political strength of academics, bureaucrats, that's not bad. We get a lot of infamy generation. Oh, look at that. We get a little bit better here. But we'll do that after the dedicated police force. Oh. Oh, here we go. And now railways. So let's get a steel mill, a motor, and our railways up and running. Can we sell anything yet? Oh, our paper mill did sell. Oh yeah, we have no urban buildings yet. Okay. I'm very far behind on this religion conversation. I got left behind on the upper levels of the rabbit hole. Now, I still don't get the why we're not gaining progress toward this. The locals in East Switzerland have two names for the same mountain. Oh boy. Oh, there we go. That's good. Uh, uh, Blumlesalp and Frau. Which name should we choose? Oh, Power of the Purse. We'll go with Frau, if I can say that one. You get the same thing no matter what. Oh, good. We're getting tech spread on intensive agriculture, so we'll get that sooner rather than later. Me what is this? Messenger pigeons are spreading. Amazing. Messenger pigeons. Okay. So I think we will go with Swiss Publishing and take the throughput and try to start exporting this stuff. So we're going to need... Yeah, there we go. I mean, maybe I'm making a mistake by not taking the metals industry, but I always do the metals industry, so let's try to change the game plan up a little bit. We need 2 levels of publishing industry and at least 1 paper mill. So let's do that. Let's do the publishing industry after we get all this iron. So we can get our company up and running. I think now we can switch over to iron frame buildings. It'll be a little expensive, but we'll fix it up. Alright. Through the widespread introduction of the atmospheric engine, in the mining industry, productivity is at an all-time high. Oh yeah, we'll take the stored water tube boiler. Thank you very much. Could you go through the tech tree? I missed that too. Yeah, yeah, we should take a look at that, right? Because there's like some extra stuff here. So like rotary press. So publishing industry building. Let's see. What else is added? Seismology. Ah, we have a dedicated police force. Oh, interesting. They moved reinforced concrete to production. That was always in society, right? Private sector building lead. Odd. Yeah, right? Because we don't have a big need for it. Um, so this is new. So another thing for the publishing industry. Electromagnetism. Yeah, see, I gotta start building some of these new build. Oh, I clicked it on accident. We were doing this. Let me fix this up. Yes, let's get Central Archives. Get that. Let's fix this up. And then we'll stick back to the production tree. Modern astronomy. Oh, I missed that one before, yeah. Modern physics. Hold on, a uranium mine. Huh. Uranium. So, nuclear physics. What can we use uranium in? The Institute for Nuclear Physics. Okay. Wait, so let's take a look at the military tech down at the bottom here. Is there going to be the bomb? Echo sounding. Doesn't look like there's a lot more stuff added there. So over here, no, that's not new. Microbiology. That's interesting. You'll get a throughput bonus to the food industries. Okay. Theory of evolution. Paleontology. And nature protection. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff added here. Early archaeology. Modern archaeology, anthropology, Art Nouveau. Oh yeah, what do you get for that? Art Deco, Neoclassicism. There's a whole bunch of stuff here. New objectivity and mass culture. Internet. Oh my God, international layovers for the airfield. Okay. Huh, that's kind of cool. I feel like we won't be able to get far enough in this run, but it would be cool to host the Olympics or something like that. Oh, found the IOC. Oh, introduce school sports. Hmm. Let's see what's going on. Let me check chat here. This mod is likely too overwhelming for me, but it gives me the idea to create a small nation of scientists that just focus on a specific field or a few, though I don't know how those systems work. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking too, right? It does seem a little overwhelming. Oh, speaking of which, Pressure wants to send mountaineers to attempt a first ascent. So, oh, so they give us money. What, 70 pounds a week? How about no? Keep your mountaineers out of our lands. Yeah, so yeah, it does seem a little intensive, right? But there's definitely some cool RP stuff that you could do. Like you just said, you want to create a small nation of scientists. Apparently, this is all done by two devs as well. Remarkable. Yeah, absolutely. There was a mod con recently where um, the people like showed videos of like their new and upcoming mods that will work with 1.9. And so I saw the video for Morgenrote and what they were planning to do in 1.9 with it. And yeah, you could tell like this is just done by a couple people, like two people who just love the game. And I forget if they said this in the video or if it was written somewhere else. Part of the reason why they created it was that they're not that into like war and like colonization and acquiring land that way. They're more into the other stuff of the game, so they wanted to create a mod where it gave you a whole bunch of other things to do other than like war and colonization, which I thought was pretty cool. The eyes of the electorate have turned to the candidates that seek to acquire a position at the head of government. As the election approaches, voters debate who would provide the best leadership for Switzerland. Yeah, so let's give momentum to the liberal Democrats here. So then we can get the intelligentsia in there. Rodolphe Topfart published his newest band désigné His, Histoire d'Albert. Apologies for that. It is not a traditional book, but contains panels of pictures and short texts underneath. The story is a caricature of a young man trying to find his way and ending up as a radical during the tumultuous time of Geneva. Okay, so we get extra literary tradition. Oh, he finally gets a bestseller. Okay. Ooh, this election might actually be pretty close. That is pretty cool. I'll have to look for that video. Speaking of mods, I was wondering, Have you ever tried the, oh yeah, a Game of Thrones for CK3? I have. That one is a lot of fun. Um, I was actually thinking about when we finished the Ireland run in CK3, doing a Game of Thrones one. That or I haven't tried the Lord of the Rings one yet, but I know the Game of Thrones one is pretty cool. So yeah, I would love to do a full run of Game of Thrones. The thing with Crusader Kings, and this is a concern of mine with the Ireland run too. I don't know how many episodes a full run of CK3 would be because I feel like a full run of Crusader Kings is much longer than a full run of Victoria 3. So I have to start thinking about what our ending condition for the Crusader Kings run is. A low-born man has risen as the popular leader of the intelligentsia, with some not so pleased by such social mobility. All right, so let's see what our current guy is. So he's a radical. Political strength, pop traction. You know, we should say no, because we have an empty agitator slot, so he'll go here. If we like him, if we can get the Liberal Democratic Party to win the election, we can put the intelligentsia in government and then just make them the head of it anyway. So let's say... Oh, I forgot though, we do get lowered pop attraction. What would we have gotten? Ah, yeah, see. Oh, plus 15% interest group political strength. Although, you know, our intelligentsia is the most powerful one now. That's interesting. A portrait of Konstantin Sigurd Mueller is still missing from the official gallery in Switzerland's heads of state. Martin Distelli is considered an obvious candidate to properly showcase the ruler. Yeah, I don't want to lose that much money. Fundamental changes in audience tastes due to political, social, and cultural changes in the country have led to a change in the preference for a literary genre in Switzerland. Okay. How do we know what that taste will be, though? Um, you should do, yeah, you should do Game of Thrones. I want to check it out, but my backlog is too big, so stream preview would be perfect, though clearly I'm biased. Oh, nice to know, nice to know. I definitely, yeah, I absolutely want to do it. Because I haven't done like a serious run in the Game of Thrones mod yet. So streaming is always like a good excuse for me when I want to do something and not and not get distracted and stop it. So maybe I'll do one sooner rather than later. The ongoing See, I don't. Okay, I guess our civil engineer, though, I thought was doing really good. We're getting those points, but why would our monthly progress? I guess we could do the additional. But that's 2,000 government expenses permanently until this is done. I don't really want to do that. Oh, also, are we still... Um, let's not tariff any imports on that. Hmm. We actually could use more construction. That's really what we need. All right. So, once again, though, not producing enough of anything. Oh, wait, what am I doing? We have the coal mines now, so let's do that. So we'll just wait for that to hire up a little bit. Oh, it was already kind of hired. So we'll do the atmospheric engine pump there. Oh, we probably have the event too. Oh, look at this. Hippocrates of Kos is considered to be the founder of the theory of miasms, the toxic exhalations from the soil that are carried away in the air and thus contribute to the spread of diseases. In the 19th century, due to a lack of knowledge about bacteria and viruses, doctors and researchers simply attributed epidemics such as cholera and bad smells that were spread via miasmas. This theory later proved to be a wrong path in medicine, although the miasma model already partly explained where epidemics come from and how they spread. The conflict between the contagionists, oh, I can't read today, who claimed human-to-human infection, and the anti-contagionists, the supporters of the miasma theory, was bitter at times in the middle of the 19th century. The weaknesses of the miasma model were recognized in London, although the makeshift rules for dealing with miasms, such as cleanliness and isolation, did limit epidemics to some extent. Should a nation find sufficient evidence in favor of the germ theory and against the miasma theory, then this paradigm shift will allow for fewer negative events in the search for treatment methods or in epidemics. The first discoverer of germ theory receives an additional research bonus. So we need a physician. We need pieces of evidence. See, this is what I don't get yet about this. So how can I get myself a physician? Cholera, the Blue Death, is a dangerous infectious disease of the small intestine. It is considered a defining epidemic of the 19th century, with millions of deaths worldwide. Cholera epidemics are considered the most threatening epidemic that can infect a nation. Oh, we need modern sewage. At least the country has proposed this international convention. Switzerland is a member of the Red Cross. You know, I guess it's because though we need to build. Yeah, like we need an opera house to get the composer. But what is there for medicine? Like if we want to start discovering planets, we have a civil engineer. How do we get the astronomer? I guess the problem is we just don't have anybody. Oh, progress to next academic. Oh, I see. Okay. So are we going to get so we could use a National Academy of Science. So we're going to get somebody I think from this. Oh, I see. And then I guess maybe we get to choose who it's going to be. Well, how do we get to build a National Academy of Science? I didn't see that on the build list. I suppose that would be in one of these things, right? Not that. This will unlock a whole bunch of stuff. Well, then I want to get to stuff that with the mod. So let's do realism next. Then we'll do these two things. Yeah, I wish it would tell me what I need for the National Academy of Science. Hmm. And then in terms of the arts, oh, so we can appoint this guy again. I mean, let's do it. Where's somebody? Now he has one bestseller. All right. And then sports. How do we get like a sports person? I guess I wonder if these guys just pop up because there doesn't seem to be a bar showing progress with that. Ah, intensive agriculture. Excellent. Um, After a rather unhappy time in Paris, Franz Liszt decided to undertake a tour following the example of his rival Thalberg and become an internationally celebrated musician. His first destination will be Austria. Why not us, though, my friend? All right. We're at the 2 hour mark, so we're going to take a very quick break so that we don't have ads interrupt us. So we'll take a quick 90-second break and be right back. All right, and we're back. And we are back. To outside observers, the intelligentsia may appear firmly committed to the idea of cultural exclusion, but behind this facade of unity, discord has long festered. Now, a clique of dissenters have finally had enough and have officially broken with their fellow members over the issue of reform. Yeah, we'll take this one. Right. You know, we really do need arms industry. Oh, we never switched over these things. Let's see, what is our... Yeah, look at that. Look at that. No wonder construction is so damn expensive right now. Oops. No, no, no. That's what I wanted. So we have 40 more fabric. Yeah, didn't do that much to us, but... Let's see. So we have 10 fertilizer. How much would we need here? 32. How are we on grain? Yeah, pretty expensive. So maybe West Switzerland. How much would they need here? 13. Yeah, we could do that. All right. We need to get more construction going. We are kind of stalling on this, though. Nope. Our mountains are for us. I feel like I don't want that. I don't necessarily know, but I feel like that's not going to be good. Oh, how are we on coal? Alright, so we're not going to add coal to the urban centers yet. Because our food industries are looking. Oh, do we not actually have one built yet? No. Okay. The opera houses. We have one. Nobody's buying music? Prominent members of the intelligentsia, outspoken supporters of cultural exclusion, and close allies of Friedrich Ludwig Keller have been exposed in a corruption scandal, having exchanged political favors for personal gifts. Yeah, I'll take that one. Classic ballet. Let's subsidize the opera house. Because we probably need... Yeah, we have none in the market, so nobody's going to consume it yet. Railways allow goods to be transported more easily. Therefore, the captains of industry in Switzerland demand the construction of a railway in our country in the next 5 years. Well, we have that ready to go here. Yeah, it's kind of at the bottom of the list, though. How are we on fabric now? Not bad. Oh, we actually have no instruments. Yeah, maybe we won't subsidize the opera house just yet. We don't actually have that. You know, why don't we get... Really? You guys really don't want to invest in us? What about you, Austria? I wonder why this is. Why does nobody want to invest in us? We have good relations here. So what's their deal? Ideological differences in governments. Oh no. The differences in GDP. Because our GDP is so low. Huh? Interesting. Okay. Uh, while they were surveying from one of the tall mountains of West Switzerland, our surveyors were surprised by a thunderstorm. It stormed and poured with rain. The surveyors sought shelter in their tent, but a lightning strike killed one of them and injured the other. Representing his constituents in the intelligentsia, Friedrich Ludwig Keller has issued a formal petition to the Swiss government to pass guaranteed liberties. Ooh, actually, I would love to move to public schools. Now let's offer you that. Ah, thank you. I always mix that up. The Maximilian, you're asking for investment rights in their country. I always mix that up all the time. Thank you. I mean, they still don't want it, but not as much. Does the buildings you build in your subject is owned by you? If you build it in your subject, it is owned by you. It kind of has the double benefit of so the profits will go to you, but also since your subject is in your market, unless you gave them their own market, um, the goods will be in your market as well. So it is always generally good to build in your subjects, especially it's generally good to build agricultural buildings in your subjects so that um, they like because agricultural buildings make less than industrial buildings. So you'd rather have the industrial buildings in your country and the agricultural buildings in your subjects. So that's kind of the added benefit of that. All right, here we go. Um, God, I always do that. It pisses me off that I do that. Hmm, we could just owe them an obligation. Let's try doing it with just the obligation, see if we can get it. And then let's take a look at Austria again. Yeah, see, the problem is they seem to be a little more hesitant towards us. Ah, nice. Okay, we got those investment rights. I don't know why they would have that 10 base reluctance, though. Alright, well, we got the French. Irrigation system. Change prioritized states. Change the states that are prioritized for this project. Warning, pause the game to make sure that the prioritization works properly. Very nice, thank you. Yeah, legislative failures. Whatever. Your civil engineer, Dr. Vinetz, started a project to construct a network of canals for Switzerland. The project will get progress every month. Every time the progress reaches 60, the state with the least available infrastructure will get the modifier. Yeah, it doesn't matter to us which one they put it in. Oh, this tunnels one is finally moving along. Ooh, we need to make the petite bourgeoisie a little bit happier. So we now have quite a bit of interest payments. Because I have limited iron, but my subjects have a lot. Oh, yeah, then definitely build it up in your subject, because it'll be in your market. And you'll still profit off of it. I guess the only difference is that it's your subjects' pops who get employed by the building, and they'll get the tax money from taxing those pops. But still, you make the profit off the building, um, and you get the iron. Oh yeah. Okay, we need. Damn, I should have tried to add. Like, could you guys just give us just a couple merchant marines? Like, pretty please. Where is it? Oh, there they go. Yeah, let's see if we can. They'll do this. So trade centers are hurting because of it. Ah, poop on you guys. That's what I say to that. Straight up poop on you. Yeah, why are we not importing any? Alright, let's subsidize this. And we'll get more trade capacity. And then we'll try to get more trades of it. Should have trade with Russia with wood and import the wood of Russia to France. I suppose we could try, yeah, and we should probably start getting a little bit better relationships there. Dr. de Condal is promising talent from the scientific community. Oh, he qualified as a naturalist. Okay. Oh. He's never found again. Now let's take the naturalist, see what happens with that. What is it? So why can't we do... Have an active port. That's weird. They were supposed to be able to trade through the French ports. We still have our agreement, right? You know, we only have 4 years left of it, though. Tsar Nicholas has a cuirassier helmet, apparently, in this mod. Oh. Oh, yeah, look at that. That's interesting. Wonder why they would have changed that. That's an interesting thing. You mean I need to have an active port? France has an active port. So wait, is that... Yeah, we can trade with them. I wonder if it's because... No, we have an interest with Russia. Russia strong, Ottomans defeated again. Oh yeah, look at that. Sorry, guys. Yeah, we can do the metals company. We're gonna try something different since this is a one-off run. What was meant as a routine speech about the merits of cultural exclusion by Friedrich Ludwig Keller has quickly devolved into a public... Oh, never mind. Our civil engineer, Dr. Vinetz, has finally completed the project to create a few new tunnels through hills and mountains in Switzerland. Now that those tunnels make traveling and transport easier, we might see positive effects for our industry. All right. All right, so this one... yeah, I don't want to take that one yet. Take that. Hey, Mauricio, hello, hello. Hi, Ham. And everybody, what is this mod about? This mod is about everything. It changes everything. No, it's mainly about adding much more complexity to science, arts, and cultural output. You basically have, like, these new characters in your company or in your country that add a whole bunch of, like, different modifiers and stuff. It's very interesting. It's it adds a whole bunch of like new buildings and everything that you can build. I don't know how I would see, that's the thing. I don't know how I would describe this mod. Like, what is it trying to do? Diggy diggy hole. Yeah. Because it touches on a lot of stuff in the game. I think it's trying to... I guess I would say the mod is designed to make you develop your domestic elements, maybe a little bit more, focusing on arts and science. Yeah, there you go. Oh yeah, just adds flavor. Very, very concise. I love the idea of making a game like Victoria even more complex. Great choice, I'm sure. Yeah, exactly. This one is definitely adding a lot more complexity to it. I can say that. All right, we need to start selling stuff, even if it's not urban. How are these guys not profitable? Well, the coal mine will be. Victoria 3 is lacking flavor a lot. I don't know if I would agree with that. I think there are certain regions that are lacking flavor, but I think there's a lot of places on the map that you can play that have added flavor. Even ones that don't have necessarily a DLC attached to them. So I think it depends on who you're playing with. I want more science stuff. Yeah, the 19th century was probably the most important century for human progress. This is true. I do agree with that, actually. So yeah, I see what you mean in terms of flavor in that regard. And science became a very global thing. Like the kind of exchange of knowledge around the world, I think was very big. So that's definitely what this mod is about. I just realized it's been 5 years over 2 hours, which is about my normal campaign pace. It's been 5 years over 2. Oh, it's about my normal campaign pace. Yeah, if I install this, a year will likely take all my time for the day. Yeah, yeah. I mean, also, I generally don't play above speed 3. So I generally play slower, I think, than most. Alright, we got modern sewage. We got a bunch of modifiers for it, so it's about time. Even vanilla Total War games have more historical pop-ups. Quality of life, give us 2 more research slots. Yeah, that would be interesting, right? Kind of like what Stellaris does. So you would have like a research queue for production, a research queue for military, and a research queue for society. Which to me would make sense, because like people are researching this stuff simultaneously. I mean, sure, your tech spread is... I guess tech spread is supposed to be like private research as opposed to government research. I guess Switzerland is more playable now that you can ask for market access. Yeah, to the seas. Imagine before you had to aim for a Swiss Navy always. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Now landlocked countries have much more they can do. But it's also interesting because like we need to renew this treaty before the 4 years is up. Otherwise, we lose our access to the world market. He's referring to Hearts of Iron 4. Wait, who is? The 2 research slots? Hey, we got messenger pigeons. Interesting. There's a lot more to the transition of this time than what's realistically able to be put into the narrative. This is when the curve started to go up exponentially. Yeah, this is true, right? And yeah, it would be cool to get more scientific stuff. I will say though, there is a lot to to track in this mod. On top of everything else in the game there is to track. Now, it's, you know, I'm still only about 2 hours into a first real playthrough of it, but I guess that's the thing. Ultimately, it is a game. Oh, man. And so there is a point where you're like, this is just too much and I can't do it. That being said, I'm still kind of learning all the mechanics of this mod, so I don't want to pass too much judgment on it. Text spread is about text spreading from other countries. No, I get that, but I'm saying it's like it's not being, I guess what I mean is you don't have any like control over it. So it's not, it's like more of a to me it feels more of like I'm trying to equate it to the construction, where you have this queue that you control what's in the queue, and then you have this queue that you don't control it. So I'm trying to make the analogy to your construction sectors there. So here you have control over this queue, but you don't have any control over this one. Man, these things taking quick. The French have not really been doing much for us here in terms of yeah, look at this. So we don't have an active port. That's interesting. So we can't, is that we can't do government. See, this is the first time actually I'm playing with a landlocked nation in 1.9. I haven't done that yet. Well, let's do this. So can we not trade, do government trades with anybody that we're not bordering? Oh. The new publishing house, Casperus, opened its doors in West Switzerland today. The printing press has been rattling since midday today. Switzerland's social life has a richer facet. Active public publisher for publishing industry builds in West Switzerland. Certainly a publisher of higher literature. Oh, so here we'll get loyalists. Here we'll get literary tradition. Ooh, progress towards the rotary press. So this literary tradition, I kind of forget. Yeah, this will ultimately give us prestige. Let's take the text spread on that. Johann Conrad Fischer has offered to spend some of their personal wealth to fund the creation of a university in West Switzerland, so this will likely give the industrialists some influence. Yes and yes. I'll take both of that. Their influence and their university. Oh, okay. We got investment rights to Spain now. Because tech spreading is nuanced, you're hoping other countries research what you want, but you get what you don't need. Yeah. I wonder, can we give away this mountaineer thing in a treaty? Because everybody seems to want it. No. You know, next time it pops up, I'm going to say yes and see if it creates a treaty. And then we could, like, try to renegotiate the treaty. France and Spain, you guys are absolutely disappointing me here. Well, we've got the construction efficiency down to 0. How do we fix this? I thought we imported... Oh, there we go. That's not how you give things. Wrong side. What were you talking about? With Austria. No, I was just looking if it's on the list at all, because I imagine we can get it from them too, right? There's nothing for it. Oh yeah, we did make this promise about public schools. What is that looking like? Okay, we've got a pretty good shot at it here. So let's switch to public schools. Alright, we've got the intelligentsia a little bit happier. I hate to say, but we might need to cut down a construction sector. Well, we certainly can... Oop, Jesus. We certainly can cut down on some wages here. I mean, that's not going to do much for us, unfortunately. What are we at? We're at 15? Okay. And we'll have to go high taxes for a little bit. What else do we have for authority here? Let's see. Yeah, liquor. Liquor and wine it will be. I think we do need to cut down on this debt a little bit here, at least for some time. During the surveying works in West Switzerland, our surveyors came into conflict with the rural inhabitants of the region. Apparently, they were disturbing a funeral with their work. Yeah, carry on. What does ham cuts even mean? Removed the Korean consumption taxes? Yeah, that's... it's a combination of the beginning part of my last name and my mother's maiden name. So it's basically the combination of my two, or at least combination of part of my two family names. Our civil engineer, Dr. Vinetz, has finally completed the project to modernize the roads of Switzerland. Our roads are now considered to be the most modern in the entire world. This will boost commerce and travel in our country. Ooh, look at that. Some progress to steel frame buildings. Not so bad. Ooh, the first few sheets of our new topographic map were published. They're focusing on the area around Basel and the Jura. I do not want to hear anything about Switzerland. Okay, interesting. You always forget that you can get more authority if you go briefly to very high wages. Yeah, I know, but I can also cut the wages and cut social mobility and get the consumption taxes. We are at 60% literacy, so for temporarily we can do it this way, as opposed to paying 957 more in order to gain 880. So the net there would cancel that out. The way tech spread works is that when you have a tech lead, like Britain, you encourage to rush outlawed dissent, since you mostly get tech spread otherwise, plus some immigration penalty. It would be even more encouraged if you could deny tech spread to others with outlawed dissent, which I guess it makes sense. Oh yeah, that's true, right? Maybe if you had an option to be like, our research, what's researched in Great Britain stays in Great Britain. That's not how it works. What do you mean? You misunderstood. Try raising the government wages to max to see if you reach 100 authority and can add another consumption tax. Yeah, no, I understood what you're saying. So if we raise it to max, we'll get more authority, but it's going to cost us £956 more in raising these wages. So essentially, if we had 100 more, we could get luxury furniture. But even if we had 100 more, like this one costs 100, but we're getting £890. So we'd be earning 890, we'd be paying £958 more in order to earn £880. So the net there would be a loss. Paradox encouraging players to oppression maxing once again, just like Stellaris. Yeah, as always. The members of that place are unhappy that Saxony discovered more astronomical objects than our nation. They ask us to find more astronomical objects in total than Saxony in 10 years' time. Sure, let's do it. Let's go for it. Why not? Conquer Sardinia Piedmont to get the port. Yeah, this is true. We could do that, but we're on national militia, so in terms of what do we have here? We have about a potential 43. What do they got? Okay, so we could outnumber them. Yeah, we could try to do that. Get ourselves a port. Yeah, that's true, because if we are going to get that... I guess, you know, that's why then. I was wondering why that Switzerland achievement was listed as hard. I guess it's hard because you have to, in order to make enough agreements, you need to get to the sea. You cannot deny tech spread to others. No, he was saying it would be interesting if you could do that. Raise and lower the wages. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, we're trying to stay in the green right now to lower the amount of debt we have, because we're holding a little too much for who we are. We could raise wages to get more authority to do more tax, but it would be a net loss because of how much we would get off that consumption tax. All right, let's do this and see. Oh yeah, so it doesn't give us a treaty, so we won't be able to add anything to it. All right, let's let everybody send their mountaineers, whatever. It'll give us a little bit of money. I mean that it could be a feature of outlawing dissent. Raise and take the tax consumption and then lower the wages. Oh, I see what you're saying. So that you go into negative authority. Yeah, we'd suffer radicals from it. But the thing is, we don't need to. We don't need to acquire those radicals. I mean, it's true we're not. So the only thing we're losing is getting promote social mobility in the two states. I'd rather suffer the having no social mobility in the two states than increasing radicals to a much higher degree over a long period of time. I can read. This is why I said temporarily before you go max wages. What do you mean? I didn't say you can't read. What are you talking about, buddy? This is why I said temporarily, before you go max wages, add a consumption tax, go back to minimum. Yeah, I see. No, it's listed as hard because there's no way the AI is going to give you 10% of your GDP in money transfers. Uh, yeah. I mean, that's difficult too, but I imagine, though, you're not going to do that with one country. You do it over many, many treaties, over multiple things. But I'm saying the added difficulty of it is it seems like you eventually have to go to war to get yourself to the coast in order to be able to make enough agreements with people. Otherwise, yeah, your only options are like 4 countries. All right. I mean, you're already in high taxes. Yeah. What do you mean? I am in high taxes. Are you referring to like, oh, I'm getting radicals because of the high taxes? Let's see. Yeah, I don't see much difference between either strategy, to be honest with you. Chancellor Friedrich Ludwig Keller expects the same level of competence and meticulousness from his ministers as he applies to his own work. Oh, that was quick. Now the Chancellor turns his attention to overseeing a particular cog in the machine of government. Actually, construction sector throughput. The trade capacity actually might be more beneficial to us. Oh yeah, that is a time modifier. Although plus 25% of 9 is actually not that much. You have edicts for the country? Because as far as I know, edicts help smaller countries a lot more than bigger ones. Edicts? What do you mean? Like the decrees? The recently translated works of Brian Cathcart have become popular within the peasant traditionalist movement. The relationship has developed to the point of Brian Cathcart openly endorsing the movement. Yeah, I don't really care for the Protestant traditionalist movement. There's not much I really want from them. What are they at right now? We could afford the movement activism. They'll lose pop attraction. I think we'll do that. Oh, yeah, the decrees. So R9 helps smaller countries a lot more than bigger ones. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's true. They do help smaller ones maybe a little bit more. Yeah, so we have road maintenance going. Oh, and now we can add... Wait, we can't add. Where's our company? Oh, poop and poop. We do need level 5. That's interesting that it was worded incorrectly before. It just said you needed more than 0. Alright. The fervently nationalistic armed forces has turned its rhetoric towards Sardinia Piedmont and its province of Savoy. They have begun lobbying for hostile action against Sardinia Piedmont to realize their territorial ambitions. No, you know, our construction is stalling so much to the point that I think we will go after the metals company. Yeah. Well, we only need 4 more of this. No, I mean, we're only playing temporarily with Switzerland. Let's do this and give their company a try. I'm willing to try things a little more in this one that I normally wouldn't do. Usually I think the more stacking of them is a good idea when you have a few states, specifically the social mobility one, but it's up to you. The armed forces wants to create the Swiss army. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if we were lower than 60% literacy, I'd be a little more hesitant on that, but we're not having an issue with qualifications. So, and we're only temporarily getting rid of the social mobility decree. So, yeah. You didn't read my cheese. Your cheese. What did I miss? Did I miss anything? The last message I see from you is the notes listed as hard because there's no way the AI is going to give you 10% of your GDP in money transfers. I did read that one. Alright, what are we getting here? Oh, so did we get this irrigation thing? No. So why are we at 0 for it? That's interesting. Alright, alright. I did that as Switzerland by conquering Sardinia, Piedmont, moving the capital to Savoy, conquering Qatar, releasing Sardinia, feeding them Switzerland, attacking France, and backing down for Savoy. Why this didn't show. Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, that didn't pop up. It didn't pop up in Streamlabs here. I wonder if it popped up in this one. Yeah, no, that's interesting. Okay. Man, I'd like to increase construction here, but we also have an abysmal GDP here. Nobody's building in our country. How is our infrastructure? Because, yeah, we have plenty. So much for those foreign investment rights. Oh, what do we have going on here? Yeah, I wish Prussia would let us in and we could get something from them. A wonderful great comet has been filling the heavens for days. So I guess sometimes I don't know, though, what the point of events are. It doesn't seem like there's a follow-up for it. Unless there's something in the science area here. I don't see anything anywhere. Nope. That's unfortunate. And then this... I guess this is when we get the events from this guy. It does seem to take a long time, though. Oh, you learn history. Yeah, that's true, I guess. That is kind of cool. Yeah, you get a little tidbit about history there. It does seem to take a long time to get people, though. Like, this is going to take a long time. I guess, though, I still haven't found, though, what will give us the ability to build this National Academy of Science. Yeah, okay, obviously, I think we need to build more universities. Well, actually, yeah. After we build these paper mills, we'll be able to do plenty of universities. Though the problem is it's taking us forever to get through our build queues since, you know. The publisher, Agostino, has today signed an exclusive contract with the writer Edgar Allan Poe from the United States of America. His works are extremely popular with audiences. But why don't people read books by domestic authors? Edgar Allan Poe. Oh, we can't bring him up. ModKutz wants to spawn a new Einstein every 2 months. Yeah, that's right, I do. Why not? Oh, realism. Okay, so we can do art gallery, a national library, and the art studio. Okay. Now, what I really want to start is the Swiss Premier League in this sports section. I'm surprised they didn't add football to this. Because it's in the 1880s we have the creation of the English League. I like this great people-inspired idea with this mod. Yeah, I do too, right? I think it's really cool. Think about all the work that went into creating all these different people. Like, I wonder how many characters they ended up creating for this mod. It's kind of insane. More sheets were published. This time the focus lies on north and eastern Switzerland with the cantons of Schaffhausen, Thurgau, and St. Gallen. St. Gallen. I always love, we always have this option. I don't want to hear anything about Switzerland. No, interesting. You were not taking the Olympics from us. Car racing, that's sick. Yeah, right? Yeah, we have car racing. We don't have football. Football exists. Go back and look at FIFA. Oh, on the bottom left. Oh, really? Ah! Oh my god! Oh my god, yeah, it's right. Oh, Jesus, I'm an idiot. So, I won't take the Olympics from you, but you will not take FIFA from us. Us being Switzerland. Oh my god, look at that. I missed that completely. Despite wearing glasses, my sight is great. Yeah. Despite wearing glasses, my sight is not. Well, how do I get this coach? Coaches are the national trainers of a country in a specific national sport. National sports include football, baseball, basketball, and cricket. Oh, that's interesting. So, like, I wonder if I plays the United States, will this be baseball? Because baseball started around the same time, around the 1880s in the U.S. Coaches provide bonuses, blah, 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 blah. Oh, note, at the moment, only football is integrated. Oh, okay. See, I don't really see, though, how I can get any of the sports characters here. I love how this sports and tournament thing just encourages you to win everything and having bragging rights of how your country can't stop winning every single tournament of every sport ever. Yeah, exactly. That's what I want. I want to win all of them. This is the only one that doesn't have a button, though. And I imagine it's easier if your country can put more resources so great powers have an advantage. Yeah, exactly. Oh, you know, though, I wonder if the issue is... Where's that tech? The tech for organized sports. I probably need this. Oh, unlocks sports facilities in the government admin. And it adds standard of living. That's pretty big, actually. +1 training rate. Oh, is it +1 training rate because your people are more fit? I love it. Okay. Oh. While they were surveying from one of the tall mountains of East Switzerland, our surveyors were surprised by a thunderstorm. Oh yeah, we've gotten this one quite a few times. Okay. Less mapping progress. The aged Charles Jules Guigné de Pranguin, leader of the armed forces, has unexpectedly expired mid-campaign, robbing the Conservative Party of a cornerstone politician. The question of his replacement is now on everyone's lips. Yeah, we'll do that. We don't want to give them any political power. A minor scandal has buzzed around the Liberal Democrats as a piece of reformist fiction written by Melchior Velar in his youth has begun to circulate once more. Whilst enthusiastically written, that is the work's only merit. Yeah, we'll take that one. We will be tired of winning. Yeah, too much winning, right? Heard that line before. So much winning. I just can't take all the winning. I suppose I didn't need to research this right off the top. Alright. A current of radical liberal thought is spreading internationally and has recently reached Switzerland. What is this guy now? A moderate. Okay, we'll take a radical. Yeah, if you change to radical, you can increase your popularity. Why not? The eyes of the electorate have turned to the candidates that seek to acquire a position at the head of government. As the election approaches, voters debate who would provide the best leadership for Switzerland. And we'll do this. And it has been revealed that Konstantin Sigurd Mueller of the Evangelical Church has been having a secret affair with a member of the clergy. His resignation is being demanded. We might do this. Because our next guy might not be a theocrat. Ugh. Whoops, now we got an authoritarian. Look at this, everybody wants to climb our mountains. Alright, we're getting a little bit better in terms of the budget here. I would like the interest payments to be under 1K though, but I would like to get another construction sector going. Viewing Piedmontian ownership of Savoy as a crime against the Swiss nation, the patricians have put their weight behind the anti-Piedmontian League. Let's do it. Election results in West Switzerland have been tainted with accusations of ballot stuffing and vote buying by the opposition. Ah, we got an astronomer. In the past, Emile Plantemur has often expressed a great interest in astronomy and observes the starry sky in his free time. Yes, we have an astronomer. I'm split whether the Olympics should have been hosted in Greece or different nations every 4 years. It's probably good that it's a different nation every 4 years because, I mean, ultimately we see hosting the Olympics is a very expensive endeavor, and it isn't always that economically great for the host nation. I mean, but it's still very expensive. I think that would be a big burden on Greece to have to do it every 4 years. I suppose maybe it wouldn't be as much of a burden because all of the infrastructure would be there every 4 years. So I guess there is that aspect of it. Hey Java, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. How are you doing today? So I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Just doing a mod run here. Oh, hi, David. David, hi, Hams. You just playing a normal run of Switzerland? No, so we're trying out a mod. We're trying out the Morgenrote mod here. So we have all this extra stuff. We can take a look at our... oh, where'd he go? We got an astronomer. So yeah, we're trying the Morgenrote mod here. Privatization of everything sucks. Yeah. Yes, but I want to be forever relevant, or everyone could pitch in. Yeah, yeah. I'd love to see the world governments be like, sure, we'll pay money, for Greece to host this thing. But it you know, we don't get as much of the benefits from it. I mean, I totally agree with you. It would be great if everybody pitched in, but I just don't have enough faith in the world governments to do that. Ancient Greeks. What if all states send their athletes and we had peace once every 4 years? Yeah, that would be nice, right? Unfortunately, our world is not like that at the moment. Well, okay, we're kind of at our, I'm kind of at my stopping point. I have a hard out at this time right now. But this was interesting. Yeah, so it's a whole... We're doing this. So because this mod is so large, we're going to continue this run tonight. And then that'll finish out our Morgenrote mod day. Yeah, so, yeah, Java, sorry. Came a little late. Because we're just about to finish up. But yeah, we are continuing this tonight. So I'll be starting up around 8:15, 8:30 tonight. So that's in about 7 hours from now. So that'll be the next time we're on. We'll do more of this. And we'll just... We don't have an official end point for this run. We're just trying out mods until National Awakening comes out next week. So we'll get as far as we can get in this in the session tonight. Seems pretty cool so far. Have a good day. See you tonight. Yeah, it's good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. Yeah, it is kind of a pretty cool mod, right? So I'm interested to see. It seems to be picking up a little bit now that we're getting more characters. So tonight, when we pick it back up, maybe we'll get a little bit more of the mod flavor. But yeah, that'll be it for now. Thanks everybody for watching. Come back in tonight to get more mod cuts on Morgenrote here. But that'll be it for now. So, all right. Well, maybe I can tune in tonight. Yeah, hopefully, I hope to see you then. Hasta la vista, baby. Yeah, see you in the place. Bye, all cuts. Thank you, Max. Thank you, Max. All right, everybody. Hopefully, I'll see you tonight. If not, I'll see you next time. And as always, be awesome. I'll see you.